Welcome to the Narcotic Analgesics practical. In this practical, we're going to be looking at the effect on morphine on mice. And we're going to be testing the analgesic response using a tail clip test, which will apply a mechanical pressure. In this class, you're going to be using the same techniques that you've already established in your animal handling class and also in your barbiturates class. So you must remember to follow safety. In this class you need to be wearing gloves, have a lab coat and also enclosed shoes. And the main risk for this class is of course mouse bite. So you need to remember to keep quiet and to handle your mice with respect at all times. So the first step in this experiment is to actually label and weigh your mice. You will be given 5 mice, and each of those mice is going to be injected with a different solution from A to E of morphine. They will simply be different doses of morphine, as well as a control, which will simply be saline. And the experiment will be done blind, so you won't know which dose is which. Take out your mouse and weigh it. So we're going to put it in the weigh boat exactly the same way as we did before. Once the mouse is weighed, you're then going to label your mouse so that you know which mouse is which by simply marking its tail with a stripe. 1 stripe for the first mouse, 2 stripes for the second mouse, and so on. When you enter the class, you can proceed to label and weigh your mice, but do not proceed with the tail clip test until a demonstrator has shown you how to do that. There is also a monitoring sheet. So this monitoring sheet is used from the time that you inject a mouse. So when you've injected a mouse, you must allocate 1 member of your group to monitor that mouse and place a tick after 1, 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50 minutes after injection to ensure that the mouse is not in distress. If any mouse is in distress, you must notify a demonstrator. The tail clip test is going to be done by simply placing a pink peg on the mouse's tail, and we're going to time the reaction time, so how long it takes for the mouse to react to the peg. So the very first thing you need to do is to establish that all your mice actually do react. And if you have a mouse that doesn't react, it means that the mouse should either be excluded or, more likely, that you haven't placed the peg correctly. So if you have a mouse that doesn't respond, go and notify a demonstrator. So how we do this is quite simple. You simply take your mouse and place it in your green container. You then place a peg about halfway along the mouse's tail, and then you let go. Now you do have to take care that the mouse doesn't shoot out of its little box, so you need to be on standby with a cloth so that you can cover the mouse once it reacts. Once you have a reaction, remove the peg carefully. Now remember, the mouse is going to be trying to remove the peg at the same time, so you need to do this efficiently. We have pretty large pegs so that you can avoid getting bitten, but it does help if you cover the mouse with a cloth at this time. Once you've done that, you can take your mouse and put it back in its cage. So once we've weighed all our mice, we've labelled them and we've established that they respond to the pink peg, we can actually start the experiment. So you're going to inject each mice with one of these solutions, and you're going to be giving an intraperitoneal injection in exactly the same way that you did for the barbiturates prac. Once you have done that, put the mouse back in its cage and note the injection time. At this point, you can immediately proceed by injecting your second mouse, then your third mouse, and so on. You should leave about a minute gap between each mouse so that you can have time to do the mechanical pressure test. So once you've done that and you've waited 30 minutes, you can then test your mouse for its response to the pink peg in the same manner in which I demonstrated earlier. Once you've done all 5 mice and recorded the time it takes for the mouse to respond to the peg, you simply choose the mouse that had the longest response time. So this is the mouse that had the highest analgesic effect, and you're then going to inject that mouse with solution X. Now, I'm not going to tell you what solution X is, but I'm sure most of you can work that out. Solution X will be injected into the mouse with the longest response time. You will then wait 15 minutes, and then you will redo the peg test, the tail clip test. And once again, record the response time to the tail clip. And we need you to collect all the data for the class and enter it into the computer.